You decided that it was a good idea for Octavia to stay with you for a while. After leaving the palace, you didn't feel comfortable letting Octavia go on her own. As for Stolas, he would be returning to IMP. He had been staying there for quite some time since the meeting with the Sins. You had been hired to work for Blitz on that same day, so you were aware of the situation involving Blitz, Stolas, and Octavia. And it had been you who had become a source of comfort for Stolas and Octavia. You felt unsure about approaching your boss and confronting him about it. You were unsure of what to say to him, although you knew in your heart that he was going through hell right now, too. Literally. And clearly the events of the Sinsmiths had caused tension between Stolas and Octavia. You walked quietly with the two of them as you made your way back home. The silence was very loud, and you wondered if you should say something. "Is it much farther?" Octavia asked, finally breaking the increasingly agonizing silence. You told her that you weren't too far from IMP right now. You said not to worry and that you would all be there soon. All became quiet once more, and you could feel the tension returning. Octavia didn't speak another word, and instead kept her eyes ahead, making it obvious that she didn't want to open old wounds. You noticed Stolas reach his hand out to his daughter, then hesitate. You were surprised when he spoke up. "Octavia, do you think it's possible we can—" "We'll talk about it later, Dad. I'd rather get back to IMP, where it's safe." "Oh, well, yes, of course." Octavia quickly cut him off, not wanting to talk right now. The only thing she wanted to do now was sleep. She was exhausted. Stolas wanted to say more, but didn't want to risk upsetting his daughter any more than he had already. And so he stayed silent. It wasn't long before the surroundings were becoming familiar again. You noticed Octavia's sad expression and gently nudged her shoulder, offering her a smile. In response, she sighed and smiled back, ruffling your hair affectionately. You promised her that IMP was definitely close by. Stolas gazed at the two of you in surprise. He had never seen his daughter smile so much before. He felt a bit sad that he couldn't make her happy like that anymore. But ultimately, he was just glad that there was at least one person in her life that could make her smile again. Just then, you heard a sound, and then stopped. You could sense that something was off, though you weren't sure what it could be. Octavia took immediate notice of your alarmed expression and stopped. "What is it?" Octavia asked, looking worried. Suddenly she felt frightened again. What if Androphis had followed them here? Or maybe someone else was after them? She wasn't sure, and she didn't like it one bit. "Are we in danger again?" "Shh! We need to be quiet in case someone's here," Octavia warned her father. She summoned her powers and prepared for an attack. You looked around carefully, waiting for someone to jump out at the three of you. You glanced at Octavia and handed her striker's gun. You told her to use it just in case. "What? Hey, what am I supposed to do with this?" Octavia asked in distress. She wasn't sure what to do with a gun. She had never handled a weapon before. You told her to shoot it if something popped out at all of you. "Shoot with it? But how am I supposed to— I don't know how to use this thing. Ugh." "Sweetie, perhaps it's best if you don't shout. Will you fuck off and leave me alone for once?" Octavia snapped in anger. Stolas was shocked by her explosive reaction and looked at her with a mixture of sadness and nervousness. Seeing her dad's expression, Octavia immediately felt bad and tried to apologize. I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't mean to shout. I just— Look out!" Something moved from the shadows, and Octavia aimed her gun, attempting to shoot at whatever it was. 3 familiar screams could be heard, and you told Octavia not to stop. And you told Octavia to stop and hold her fire. "It's just us. Fuck. No need to shoot." "All right, that's it. Who wants to die next?" "Oh." "Sir, I think we found them." "Yeah, no shit, Moxie. It wasn't real fucking obvious about the god-awful shooting job that just took place." "That was actually me. I'm so sorry. I was just trying to protect everyone. I didn't know it was you." "Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Now, does anyone want to tell me just what the fuck the three of you are doing out here in the dead of night? As it turned out, the people Octavia had been trying to shoot at were actually your boss and his employees, Millie and Moxie. You were relieved that it wasn't Androphis or someone worse. You quickly explained the situation to Blitz and told him what happened. Christ on a fucking stick, they're still not over us. Actually, it was my fault. This all happened because of me. I'm sorry for causing so much trouble. I promise you, it will never happen again. Oh, sweetie, please, don't blame yourself for this. You couldn't have known what was going to happen. Dad, stop. Please, just... Everything is my fault, okay? I'm going to bed. Octavia walked through the entrance, and you watched her go, wondering if you should follow. Let her go. It's been a rough night for you guys. You were surprised when Blitz spoke up. He put a gentle hand on your shoulder. Stolas moved to run after Octavia, but Blitz gently urged him not to. You too, Stolas. But Blitz, I know. It's just best if we give her space. She'll come around when she's ready. If you say so, Blitz. Stolas dejectedly began to walk away, feeling the same hopelessness he had before. Blitz noticed and spoke a few words of comfort to him. I'm just glad you're okay, Stolas. With everything that's happened, I don't know what I'd do without you. It's good to see you again, Blitz. Mwah. Good night. Sleep well. Good night, Stolas. Stolas kissed Blitz's cheek affectionately and gave him a smile before walking away. Blitz blushed happily, warmth and love in his eyes. You teasingly asked him if the two of them were still getting it on. Hey, what Stolas and I do outside of work is none of your fucking business. Hey, on a more serious note, thanks for saving my Stolas. I know I don't say this a lot, but I appreciate you, kid. A hell of a lot more than you realize. I'll see you inside. You followed Blitz inside. Surprised by his compliments, you found yourself smiling a bit as you walked. You felt an immediate sense of relief wash over you as you arrived inside the apartment. Blitz went straight to the kitchen to grab a snack, then he turned to glance back at you. You in the mood for something, or you just want to go to bed like everyone else? Just then, a door burst open, and Moxie and Millie came rushing out of the room to greet you. Are you okay? You had us worried sick. Don't you ever do that to us again. I stand corrected. Looks like the gang's all here. I have to say, I'm quite impressed. How the fuck did you rescue the prince and his daughter all by yourself? Because I taught him how to shoot and kill. Sir, you also taught me how to shoot and kill, in addition to my mafia heritage, which it did in fact include learning how to properly use and shoot a gun. Yeah, well, we can't all be effortlessly brave and strong, Mox. It's not my fucking fault that I can't unteach you how to be a puss. Look, either way, let's just all be glad no one was hurt and that they made it home okay. Yeah, I guess you're right. Always am. Highly debatable, sir. Well, anyway, I think Mox and I should head to bed since there's no real trouble here. And y'all should too. We're just glad you're okay, hon. Good night. And with that, the two lovebirds headed off to bed to sleep, leaving you alone with Blitz. He went to the fridge and got out some Beetlejuice for the both of you. You looked at him in surprise. What's up with your face, kid? Come on, we gotta celebrate somehow. You asked him what there was to celebrate, giving your boss a blank stare. Well, you, of course, for your hard work tonight. You made me proud, kid. And besides, I don't really feel like drinking alone tonight. Unless you'd rather sleep. In which case, you can just go to bed if you... Oh. Really? You told Blitz that you were interested in celebrating. You couldn't understand why he was so adamant about it. But who were you to turn him down? Besides, he was providing free drinks, too. Who would pass that up? Then let's get this shit show started. For the next few hours, you spent the night with Blitz, partying and doing drinking games and challenges with him until you both hit your limit. Hey, you gonna finish that? Ow, fuck my head. You both laid your heads on the table, completely maxed out. There was still a lot of vials of juice left over, but neither of you felt like you could continue. You told him he should go to bed if his head was hurting. No fucking way. I'll sleep when I die, bitch. I'm not leaving this table until one of us finishes the rest. Yes, you are. And when I say you, I'm referring to both of you. Luna noticed you, and her dad nearly passed out on the table, and walked up to you. She picked up both of you and began putting Blitz to bed. No, Looney. I'm not finished yet. Just one more drink and I'll beat him. Fuck the drinks, Dad. You need to fucking sleep. Both of you. You're gonna feel this shit in the morning. Luna brought you up to her room, where Octavia was sleeping soundly on the floor, with blankets and a few pillows. Luna set you on her bed, deciding it was a good idea to watch over you overnight, in case you needed her or woke up throwing up. It didn't take long for you to pass out, but before you did, you mumbled something almost incoherent that Luna was able to pick up with her sense of hearing. Octavia, please don't leave me. Octavia's heart was filled with compassion as she realized what you were saying. Poor kid, she thought to herself, before climbing into bed next to you and staying awake to watch over you carefully.